Noon YouTube! Welcome to the grind room. Okay, so the previous one, gonna make Kydex, right? A couple of guys that are asking me how do I work the Kydex from there. So that's what we'll be doing, right? So working Kydex, that's what we'll be doing. Okay. So we've killed off all the overhead lights, all the other lights to minimize the glaring. I've also tried to do this one a tad earlier, right? So that you guys can actually see Stefan van Rensburg. Stephen, welcome, brother. You are number one, I believe. Well, the first person to comment in any case. But alright, so there we go. That one there has obviously been molded. Now, in the previous video, I mentioned that you should never, while you've done your molding, never do that, because you won't get it out. Alright. Well, you can. And I'll show you how. Alright, so let me just reposition this thing so I don't knock that over. Okay, so find a soft spot, get your water bucket out of the way. It's kind of important at this point. And then with that spot there, knock it gently and you'll see the blade come out. Alright, and then one of the comments was how to do that without having to knock it on the table. Well, you need to understand that the retention on this thing is quite severe at this point in time. Okay, so that piece of Kydex that's there sits at the back here, and that's pinched in, and that's holding that knife in. So there's no way on this green earth that you, with your thumb pushing at the top, unless you're a 12-year-old kid that's been doing that on his cell phone the entire day, yeah, so maybe I should give it to my 13-year-old. You might be able to do it, but I don't know if any grown man, with one finger will be able to push that out. Okay, so what you need to do is lessen the amount of Kydex at the back there, and that's what we're going to do. Right, so we now have a couple of guys up, so let's get this party started, right? Okay, so I'm just dropping you down so that you can actually see what I'm doing. I'll be grinding on the top wheel as well, so grinding on that wheel and then doing the flats. Yeah, so I've got you in selfie mode so I can actually see what's happening, so that that type of thing doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, I also removed the cover, so you get a nice crisp HD, and we need to just do that. Right. Clean up the low sticker. Well, it's in reverse now, so it doesn't look like it. Alright, but anyway, not talking crap, let's start grinding. So what I want to do is I want to finish the straight edges first before I start climbing into the hold of the blade. There's a 100 grit belt. And there we go. I mean, this part here is not rocket science. And I cannot stress this enough, this is just how I do it. Alright, I'm not pretending to be a Kydex expert. Yeah, I've only been working with proper Kydex for like a month and a half. But I have made a hell of a lot of them. Okay, but anyway. Okay, so that there, you literally just rub it off with your fingers, pull it off. Okay, now I have seen working with a rougher blade, especially the 60s, but you don't get it doesn't get that burning on the edge, but you don't get a smooth finish. Not that I really care about the smooth finish on these feeds. A lot of guys will go and polish these edges, yeah I don't. Okay, but anyway, so working the throat area, I like to give it a flat curve up, and then make sure you get rid of all that gunk, yeah, on the inside of your sheath by just tapping that out. Okay, so once I'm happy with that, then I'm going to go and work on the retention. I'm using my top wheel, I'm stabilizing my finger at the back, and let me just get this a tad higher, yeah. So I'm stabilizing my finger at the back and now I'm pushing in. I just need to flip over the light so that I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. There. And then I'm cutting in. And I'm stopping about a mil before that little end point, which is the seed of that. Right? So about a millimeter before that. Yeah, let's call it 2 mil. I'll be stopping. Okay, so now put it off, switch it off. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is use my blade, obviously, which has not been sharpened yet. And I'm just cleaning out all the gunk, because I really do not want to push that into my sheath. Cleaning the sheath out as best I can. So normally I'll have my compressed air here, and I'll blow that up, sticking the knife in, and all of a sudden, yeah, I can actually now pull it out, but she can still use with a bit of a diet there. Ah, there we go. Okay, so one-handed operation, that's what I'm looking for. So I still have enough material at the back here. So if I need to warm it up for whatever reason, over time, obviously the Kydex will work out. Client comes back to me, he says, look, it's a tad loose. What you can do is just take a heat gun, obviously remove the knife, all right? Then take a heat gun, heat that up, that section right there, heat that up with the blade inserted, then you can just pinch that over and that'll add an extra degree of grab on the sheath, and therefore extending the life of your Kydex sheath, right? So that was it. I'm happy when I can push it out with one hand or one finger, and it's not a finger that sits on typing on a cell phone the entire day. Yeah? Okay, no disrespect intended. You ever played what's it, Thumb Wars with a 13-year-old that sits on his cell phone every day? Dude, you don't stand a bloody chance, I can promise you that. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just breaking those off. I want to clean this up ever so slightly. I'm just going to slow down our machine a tad. And then clean that up. I'm happy with that. And now I'm left with that little sharp corner. I don't like that sharp corner, so I'm actually going to round it. And that's it. That looks much more styling, doesn't it? Now, those little protruding points there, I want to just turn them down. There we go. I'm happy with that. I'm quite happy with that. Right, so that was it for the Kydex side of things. We'll continue more. So all I do now is I'll take an NT cutter, X-Acto knife, and I'll go and trim those edges. Just make it smooth to the touch. And we'll blow compressed air in there, and then I do like to do a little hole there, so if for whatever reason you're one of those mad nutters that'll go jump into a pool or a swimming pool or the ocean with your blade, that the water will actually come out. It's not just the water, any dust, anything that comes into the sheath itself, you've got a little pocket to open it up at. Right, so there we go. I like the click on it. That's cool. Right, so one down. So before we move on to the next section of the class, yeah, let's see whether I have got any Kydex dust on my forehead. No, remarkably clean. Alright, so yes, I do own those, right, but I can't wear this and talk to you. I'm not your father. Alright, so remember that is Darth Vader. Alright, yeah, no discrimination. Alright, so that was it. Now for the next section is sharpening a blade. Well, there are 5 million ways to do this. Once again, with what I use that works for me. Right. How I do that is not on a 100 grit belt. I'm going to switch this while we're talking. I actually use an old 400 grit belt. So I'm putting that onto the machine as we speak. And there we go. Just need to set the tension. Right, so we'll be using this blade here. Edge is about 0.3 millimeters. She is extremely thin. Yeah. But I'll show you what I do. So I'm going to talk you through what I do first. Number one, edges up. This is my platen. Okay, so that's my platen, edges up. What I'm going to do is at a whatever your chosen angle is, and I don't know what the angle is. I just sharpen the thing. Okay, give it a half-hour sharpen. As it's easier to sharpen a blunt knife than it is to establish an edge completely on top of the belt. And you'll see where we're going with this. So standard as you've been grinding, just add a slight angle and do a bevel. Yeah? No, not rocket science. Turn it around, same bevel on the other side. Keep it consistent. Keep in mind it's an old 400 Alright, you want to turn your speed down as you don't want to burn your cutting edge. Most important thing. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright. So let's get to it. It's as easy as that. Enough talking. Let's just do it. Right? Okay, so switch on the machine. It's already slow. So set the tempo again. Okay, faster than that. Okay. Stay in stance. Remember to talk about stance. Everything is still the same. I am just going to break that edge. Okay. Cool down after every single wipe. Get rid of the excess water on your blade, and now I'm going to do the other side. You can see the gunk from the old belt just popping off as I'm grinding. Okay, so we're just going to lift this up a tad more. Yeah, and I'm featuring my Baker Street Forge shirt. Right, so I don't know if you can actually see that. So I've created a very, very fine primary bevel. Yeah. Okay, so primary bevel is the sharpening bevel. The secondary bevel will be the cutting edge, or the secondary bevel, the supporting bevel of the actual cutting edge. When we talk about a bevel, we're talking about those two angles there, right? Yeah, whether it be a hollow grind or a flat grind, a saber grind, a Chinese, Japanese, Afrikaans, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, so I've created a primary bevel. It is not sharp. There might be sections on that is sharp. Yeah, sharper than a spur steak knife. Yeah, that's a bit of a personal joke. So some of the Afrikaans guys on my channel will definitely get that. So the second section. There was also a question. What am I? Well, a male. All right, and then I am South African, or born and bred. Okay, so my belt turns the same way as it is when I'm actually grinding. Okay, guys, I see the comments are flying past. We'll be checking comments just after I've done this, right? And then I'll be answering any questions that you guys might have. So I see a lot of guys that'll put their machines in reverse to then grind that way, and apparently people are saying that that is safer. I don't know how the hell you can say that's safer, because you can't see the cutting edge, right? And there's no difference between that belt running that way and you grinding in that fashion, right? Or the belt running this way and you grinding in this fashion. Now, yeah, you need to wear eye protection, yeah, which I'll put on just now, and you can actually see what you're doing. You can actually see whether the burr is forming. Where in that fashion there, you need to lean over the machine. You're closer to the machine, unless you've got a heavy-duty apron. You might be grinding the nether region, which is never fun, right? Okay, so let's not talk any further, and let's just grind this thing. Okay, so right here, it's a blunt 400, yeah, just enough to do the nails. Then clean stuff up a tad. So blunt 400, medium speed. I start with the tip. Don't start at the heel, start at the tip. If you start at the heel, what the natural tendency is to do this. When you do that, you will be rounding and losing that sharp tip. So start at the tip, in the middle of your belt, start at the tip, add pressure, not too much, and then because my belt is curving, I want to, just when I get to the end, I want to dip ever so slightly. I don't want to push in, I just want to keep the pressure even. And there I go. Alright. So I've got a slight bevel. It's literally about 3 times thicker than the primary bevel I created earlier. Okay, so that one's there. Now we cool off. Get rid of the excess water. That's why you've got rubber plating, rubber matting on your grinding machine or next to your grinding machine. Now I flip over. Other hand. So we'll take you guys over to the side. Alright. Light's a bit weird, but hopefully you can still see. Yeah, so the light is on this side now, my hand is on the left side, so exactly the same thing. Same support hand on the other one. I'm starting at the tip, keeping the pressure equal, moving to the back. Now what I'm doing, before I continue, okay, I am now, and we're going to try to get you guys into this. Right, now looking into the camera, and then onto this. Okay, hold on. I'm going to flip the camera around because I really need for you guys to see this. And this is when you know that you actually are sharpening. Right, and that blade is already sharpened. So there's no need for us to do any further. Right, so if I look down there, can I see it? Yeah, there you can. You see that little sharp edge? This little burr, and if I touch it, I'm actually wiping that burr away. Yeah, and then I'm wiping the burr back. So what you're doing is you just want to do those 2 passes, and there you go, and you will be as sharp as Bob, right? And there are guys advertising freaking stuff. Carol Smith, I'm now going to have to read up on trying to figure out how the hell to ban you, right? Name and shame. Sorry guys. Okay, well anyway. Okay, so we've got that little bevel and this thing really does not want to focus. Okay, there we go. So I can see the burr, and now it's just a matter of going to the buffing machine and or the strop, whatever is your preferred method of getting rid of that burr, and then obviously getting rid of the burr, right? It really doesn't want to focus on that shiny edge. Okay, but anyway, so as for the surface finish on this, that's for a later video. So that was it, guys. Basics. I don't want to get too serious about this, but that is it. It's not rocket science. Yeah, that's it. So working Kydex and then sharpening your blade. Really, really, really simple. Okay, any questions, any comments, leave them as per normal below. Let me just flip this thing around again. Come on! There we go. Okay, so as per normal, leave your comments below. I will try to go through them and respond to as many as possible when I have got time. We're going into the knife season. Brooklyn Knife Show is in literally 2 days, right? See, Blacksmiths, very important to be able to count. 2 days, which is Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I'm the organizer, so it's hectic, man, it's hectic. You see my beard, I'm going grey by the second, you can see that. By tomorrow all of this will be chopped off, so I look a couple of years younger, yeah? Okay, so let's answer some questions. John, no, that's not a Damascus, it's actually a ferric chloride etch technique using nail polish, yeah? So you finish the blade, do the finish that you want on this blade. That one was done with a 800 grit hand sand. Direction of the sand was actually in that direction, right? So the entire knife, including under the scales, everything was hand sanded. Then I gave it a light polish on the buff, and then took nail polish and did a random all over the blade. Yeah. Then dipped it in ferric chloride, left it in there for, well, depending on your solution, minus 100% ferric chloride. Or as I get it from the shop, I dilute it. I add for every liter of ferric chloride, I add an additional 2 liters of clean water or distilled water, and then I leave it in there for maybe a minute. Take it out, neutralize it in bicarbonate of soda, mixture of water, bicarb, and then acetone. Once it's dry, wipe off the nail polish, do a second coat. Same, repeat the process, and that one is four coats of that process, and then there we go. So all of those little blotches are coatings of are brush strokes with the little nail polish thing. Yeah, and it looks like a Damascus, but it's not. It's an etch finish. Okay, but it gives a nice dimension to the blade, and it's something. I don't do this often. I think this is the second blade in 2 years that I've done in that fashion. But it's a nice little finish. This is a prototype. I won't be making more of them, so there's no need. We will be making more of the design, but not in 5160. This will actually be laser cut and then 3D CNC'd out of N690. Right, so that's the prototype. I didn't want to. I love this knife. I had to finish it, so make it a once-off, and there we go. Right, so that was the surface finish. Yoandavet, he wants to know how I strop a blade. I use a buff, dude. I don't like sitting there on a strop. If I've got high-end Damascus that I've made, Right, on a 20,000, 30,000 rand, let's call it a $2,500 dagger, even the 5,000 range, you don't want to take that onto a buff that then I'll sit there and strop. But now it's worthwhile, right? On a 2,000 rand, South African rand knife, no way, buff it, dude, buff it. That is a buff finish on there, so we will get buff. I want a t-shirt, dude, I want a t-shirt as well. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, I have one. Order yours from Alex. I think it's alexsteelshop.com. Get it, dude. Get it. Make sure you've got it. No textile import tax, right? Dave, thanks for the shout out, brother. The taco versus the two pieces concept. Okay. I don't know. I personally like this, the look of it. I know there's a lot of makers that don't like this look. I honestly do. The strapping options that this with paracord lashing and with tech lock and everything gives me is a lot more versatile than, and this comes from my clients, right? Not for me. My personal preference doesn't come into play. I do what sells. Done. My personal stuff is the Journeyman Smith stuff. Yeah, American Bladesmith Society. If you don't know, I'm a journeyman. I can test for Master Smith at Blade next year, which is 2018. Yeah, which I'm planning to do, by the way. But anyway, so long story short, this is my production line of blades. That puts the bread and butter, keeps that going, and buys me time to make the really, I don't want to say it, but arty-farty blades, the more creative blades, the more inspired blades, the long-term projects, the swords, the axes, the carving, the quilling daggers, which is, I love doing quillings. Not good at it by any stretch of the imagination. There are guys out there that just inspire me like you cannot believe, and man, when you see their work, I just ball myself. But anyway, the taco versus this, that's what my clients want. They want lashing options, so that gives it to them. The taco, there's a lot less work. All right, Kydex forms beautifully, but you need to figure out what works for you. The taco thing, you can also use just 3 rivets or just 2 rivets. I don't mind, because all of this is worked into the price of the blade, and all of that pricing and everything is done on paper before you actually make it. Right. The reason you actually go and make a prototype is just to see whether your estimation on paper was actually correct. You don't make a knife and then try to figure out how much you should sell it for. Yeah? And there's no such thing as saying, hey, this knife took me 24 hours just because I didn't know what the hell I was doing to make. And 16 of those hours were spent hand sanding. Learn to freaking hand sand, to grind properly. Then you don't have to spend 16 hours hand sanding a freaking blade. And they want to charge an arm and a leg for it. It's stupid. Do you think BMW that creates a car is going to charge you 5,000 hours for creating the car? No. This is just a product that you're creating. Yeah, you just happen to be the maker or the creator and the salesperson. That's it. Yeah, so kind of split that personality going, hey, I feel like making a knife. Think I'll make the knife. And you go, hey dude, that's a cool knife. Hey dude, that's a cool knife. Can I sell it for you? And then you sell it. How much you want for it? Come with a price, man. So that's your production cost, right? You need to know what this thing costs you. Yeah, maybe in a later video I can show you my spreadsheet and how I actually do my costing, as this is a business. And I'm not in the business of losing money. This is not a non-profit organization. Yeah? And I do a trip at least once or twice to the States a year, and at 18,800 rand per ticket, yeah. So unless you've got 40 grand lying around for your weekend stay in Blade Show, yeah, that's expensive, man. You've got a family, and you're building a house, and you're building a shop, and you're building a business, and you're employing 3 people full time. You have to turn money. This is money. Yeah, but anyway, see, now I'm ranting, and no one even pissed me off. Okay, so how much did it cost to import this shirt? The shirt, at the end of the day, I paid 860 South African rand for the shirt. Yeah, it's the only one I'm going to buy. Alex, sorry brother, if you're watching this, dude, I love the shirt. I really, really love the shirt. if I'm in the States, I'm going to order one and send it to my hotel room, right? And bring it with me. Okay, but anyway, so we have got the wife and kids at home. So, guys, have fun, enjoy. I'll review the comments and then I'll get back to you guys. All right. Have fun, enjoy, and we'll definitely be doing a live cast from the Brooklyn Knife Show, and I'll show you some proper knife swag, right? Guys, have fun. Thank you for tuning in. As always, subscribe, comments, everything below. Hit that little bell if you want to see me go live. Cheers.